The chosen ones know that the obstacles that stand in their way are not ordinary. Those who stand against them are not just enemies, but faces they once knew as friends, faces they once trusted. Because the chosen ones do not speak ordinary truths. They are the embodiment of courage, touching the deepest wounds of the system, speaking the unspeakable. You were like this too. When you saw the darkness behind the spotlight of the music industry, you became someone who had to be silenced. At first it was just text messages, but then the rumors, screenshots, and lies about you spread in waves. Those who had been with you for years suddenly turned against you. While they wrote their own stories, you were left alone with the burden of truth. But you, the chosen one, did not succumb to silence. Because those who fought you have forgotten. The truth eventually speaks. One by one, phone records, location information, and witnesses who summoned your courage began to surface. If you are ready to rise from the ashes, claim your God-approved love and take the next step. Press like, subscribe, and leave a 77 in the comments. Now, chosen one, let us continue. Those who wanted to silence you were watching you without you even realizing it. Your presence threatened their plans because your power was not bound by their rules. They may not have threatened you openly, but they placed invisible obstacles in your path. They tested your patience, hoping you would eventually give up. But you never gave up. Every step taken to destroy you made you stronger. Every betrayal showed you what endurance is. The darkness that descended upon you became a mirror that made your intelligence and will shine even brighter. And now they are falling into their own trap. Because karma never forgets an address. Your strength has frustrated their strategy. They no longer want to destroy you. They are now questioning why they cannot destroy you. The chosen ones do not run away from challenges. Challenges remind them of who they are. Remember, chosen one, they sent their best to stop you. But there is something they don't know. You are just getting started. They didn't carry swords. With their poisoned hands, they offered you solace mixed with silent destruction. They defined submission, moderation, and obedience as wisdom. They have convinced many before you, buried countless others in the shallow graves of their own doubts. But you did not willingly fall into this trap. You saw what they feared, an unbridled power unrestrained by their laws. They failed because they underestimated how inevitable your ascension was, not because they tried to control you. You never asked permission. Kneeling was never intended for you. Click the Super Thank button and donate $50 or more to gain access to additional in-depth information, unique material, and a course in alignment with your divine destiny. This is not just a contribution. It is a declaration and a step towards becoming the person you are destined to be. Accept the call. Join us on our journey and fully embrace your destiny. Your adventure has just begun. Once they realized they could not control the situation, they resorted to desperation. Now they are faltering. Now they are retreating. They talk of endings as if the pen is still in their hands, as if their trembling fingers can still spell out your destiny. However, you have already changed it. They have not conquered you. You are not their lesson. They said there can never be a power like you. They finally understood. They never doubted your victory, as their voices broke under the weight of your resistance. They shudder when they hear your name. They condemn your existence because you were never meant to submit to them, not because you offend them. Write 33 in the comments to start using your light to destroy evil all over the world. You break the lies they have created to keep you small. You break through their illusions like a storm through fragile glass. They murmur that you must be stopped because you are dangerous and careless. But listen carefully. Does a ruler care about a nameless vagabond? Does the presence of the helpless make an empire tremble? No, they don't. They do not resist the weak. They oppose you because you are never one to be subjugated. They were never ready for the power you have. You can feel how they are desperately trying to convince you that you are not who you know yourself to be by stepping on you and tearing your foundation. Experience what it is really like to be chosen. You are not traveling alone on this journey. If you secretly believe that you are chosen, you are in the right place. By choosing to join, you can further your relationship with us, access exclusive information, and get the help you need on your spiritual journey. It's not just about joining a group. It's about gaining access to special insights that can change your life and help you get closer to your divine purpose. Make your decision now and join us on this journey. Claim your right to be one of the chosen ones. Register today. They fill the environment with cunning, manipulative tactics to create uncertainty, fear, and hesitation. You don't want approval, but those who approve have the luxury of doubt. Their opposition is your approval, not your burden. You have never been insignificant. If you were, they would not have gathered in the dark to talk about you. They would not have organized against you unless they really thought you could destroy everything they have created. Let them be afraid. Let them conspire. Let them beg the cosmos to keep you quiet before it is too late. It already is. Their terror does not worry you. Their terror is your crown. You can rise without their consent. You have not risen, and they fear it the most. It was not power that gave them strength, but illusion. They clung so tightly to lies that they believed their own dishonesty and made masks of their stolen dignity. But you were never blind. You saw how their voices trembled when they were forced to confront their own lies and how they cracked under the weight of their own inconsistencies. They built their rule on borrowed time, stolen credibility, and the assumption that no one would challenge them. But you did. Long before they realized their armor was weakening, you were able to see through it and notice the cracks. Now, the weight of knowledge is eroding them from the inside out. Something revenge could never achieve. You can destroy them without a weapon. They will disintegrate on their own, thanks to the same plans they used to harm you. Instead of whispering, they begin to stutter. Their warnings become meaningless echoes. They talk of order, but what follows is anarchy. They behave in ways that betray their claimed expertise. Standing firmly on their feet, you only have to watch as their carefully constructed foundations crumble under their own dishonesty. They have made efforts to bury, silence, and erase you under their delusions. But you never had the power to bring them down. They did it by trusting in themselves. Truth is an enemy that cannot be bought or kept silent. Like you, it will rise. Exposure is something they never expected. They are startled, groping for masks that have fallen, looking for shadows that are no longer there. They talk of forgiveness, of miscommunication, of changing the past. But neither you nor the truth will give up. You were the reckoning, even if others saw you as an obstacle. The crowds howl with a ferocity that makes the earth tremble. Their rage is a fire that began when the forces of evil openly disregarded the law. As you see what has been done to the chosen ones, their rage becomes a mirror reflecting the divine imbalance. They are motivated not only by compassion, but by a fundamental understanding of a divine truth. You are the axis around which justice revolves. When dark energy strikes, they do more than harm you. They violate the fundamental law of life. The anger of the people is not arbitrary. It is a way of mobilizing the energies of the universe, a collective cry for revenge that echoes through the ages. They are angry because deep down they know that to wrong you would threaten the cosmic balance. Add the number 11 to your message to energize the universe and align your intentions with the flow of divine abundance. Consider the manifestations of this truth in our time. The world does not remain silent when the weak are silenced by the strong, or when innocence is crushed under the weight of corruption. When an injustice is documented and magnified, it serves as a spark for a wave of outrage. Evil power believes that its plans cannot be thwarted, so it underestimates the power of the people. However, the veil is lifted by the people. They become aware of schemes, deception, manipulation, and petty theft. And the people rise up, not just for you, but for the principle you represent. They carefully use their anger, a weapon forged in the furnace of our common humanity, against those who seek to disrupt the natural order. You are at the center of this storm. Even as the demonic force attacks, they fail to see how grave their mistake is. A power far greater than themselves, a power that transcends individual lives and becomes a movement, a reckoning, awakens when someone harms you. Public anger is not just an emotion, it is a prophecy. It is the universe's way of reversing its trajectory and guaranteeing that the chosen ones win. The collective determination of people who will not tolerate injustice will bring about the downfall of evil power, and not only by your hand. Your protection is their anger. Your weapon is their voice. Together you will destroy evil one piece at a time until the light triumphs over it. Now let us remember for a moment the chosen among us, in honor of the people who see the world from a different perspective. The silent protectors, the vigilant souls who are always alert and vigilant. They don't want it any other way and don't fit the mold. They create their own paths, wage invisible wars, and shine light into dark places while others follow the known. It is okay that it is not for everyone. But you know when you feel in your soul that something is for you. Don't wear a mask. No pretense. Just the facts. Dark power moves with deliberate precision. Its plans are made to entangle and destroy, and are woven like elaborate traps. But their attempts are defeated by an unseen force, far more powerful than their hostility. You are protected by a power beyond their comprehension, a divine armor that turns their weapons to dust. Every attack they launch and every strategy they employ is met with incomprehensible opposition. They are not fighting you alone, but their arrogance prevents them from seeing this. They are up against a force that has existed since the beginning of time, a force that distorts reality to defend its chosen ones. Their downfall is fated. It is not an accident. Their malice becomes proof of your invincibility. Their traps do not work. Their falsity is exposed, and when they see how resilient you are, their power diminishes. Even though they are actors in a story scripted by a higher power, the evil power thinks they are planning to destroy you. Instead of destroying, their actions show how pointless their war is. Every failed effort shows the divine order in action, reminding you that your power is eternal and theirs is temporary. They are attacking not only you but the entire fabric of life, and life always prevails. The poisonous dark force attacks. They have terrible, savage motives that aim to tear you to pieces. But they fail to see that their attack represents your beginning rather than your death. Your power is forged in a furnace created by every blow they deliver and every wound they inflict. You are purified by pain, not destroyed. The challenges they plan are not shackles, but stepping stones, each one bringing you one step closer to your true destiny. Their hatred is a weapon used by a higher power to transform you into something they will never understand. You overcome. You just don't survive. Your response to their attacks is revelation rather than resistance. Where they expect despair, they discover resilience. Where they expect collapse, they see change. Your grace in the face of the flames is divine, not human. Although the forces of evil think they are tearing you apart, they are actually exposing you. Every lie you expose and every attack you repel is proof of the power within you. Their efforts to silence you only make your voice louder. By God's grace, you can bless this message using YouTube's Super Thank button and provide a wonderful gift of $100 or more. The seeds of your legacy are only planted by their efforts to bury you. Their intent to harm becomes a platform to showcase your unquestionable and unalterable truth. This is the alchemy of your life. Suffering becomes power, pain becomes strength. Their actions are not their own, but the demonic power ignores this. They are tools with a more elaborate design, a design that makes sure that every action they take advances your climb. The difficulties you experience are not just conflicts, but realized visions. The scars they leave behind are symbols of victory rather than failure. Proof that you persevered in the darkness and came out stronger. Written in the ink of adversity and illuminated by the light of transcendence, your life is a testament. While the evil power will never understand, they will never forget that they tried to destroy you, and in the process revealed your invincibility. They act with the arrogance of those who think they are at the head of the board. Their intentions are poisonous and their tactics cunning, but they fail to see that this is not their game. Every move they make, every plan they come up with, is a move on a spiritual chessboard that is far above their understanding. Only the present, the tangible and the ephemeral are visible to them. They fail to realize that every countermove is guided by a divine hand that transforms their enmity into opportunity and their poison into momentum. Not only are their plans disrupted, but they are reused and wrapped up in a design so grand that it surpasses their comprehension. You are the focal point of a cosmic plan, not a pawn. Furthermore, every action taken against you further strengthens your position. Destruction is your beginning, not your end. You are reborn in the flames they cannot resist, rising like a phoenix from the ashes of their efforts. They think they are destroying you, but they are actually paving the way for your ascension. Their flames cleanse rather than consume. Their chaos gathers instead of dispersing. Their intended destruction serves as the impetus for your metamorphosis. You emerge not only unscathed but stronger, with a clearer purpose and a brighter light. Their attacks are a spark that ignites your rebirth, not a setback. Because their movements are linear and predictable, they mistakenly think they are playing checkers. But you are playing a game they cannot understand. A four-dimensional chess game where spirit, time, and space come together. Your success is guaranteed by the rules of your ally, the cosmos. Every action they take is expected and every tactic is defeated. They attack not only you, but the entire fabric of life, and life always prevails. Their blindness will be their downfall. Their arrogance will be their undoing. The game was set up from the very beginning in your favor, and you were the ones who were chosen. It was not power that gave them power, but illusion. They wrapped themselves so tightly in lies that they believed their own dishonesty and made masks of their stolen dignity. But you were never blind. You saw how their voices trembled when they were forced to confront their own lies, and how they cracked under the weight of their own inconsistencies. They built their rule on borrowed time, stolen credibility, and the assumption that no one would challenge them. But you did. Long before they realized their armor was weakening, you were able to see through it and notice the cracks. Now the weight of knowledge is eroding them from the inside out, something revenge could never achieve. You can destroy them without a weapon. They disintegrate on their own, thanks to the same plans they used to harm you. Their warnings turn into empty echoes, their murmurs into stutters. They talk of order, but what follows is anarchy. They behave in a way that betrays their claim to expertise. Standing firmly on their feet, you only have to watch as their meticulously constructed foundations crumble under their own dishonesty. They have made efforts to bury, silence, and erase you under their delusions. But in the end, it was their own arrogance that destroyed them, not you. Truth is an enemy that cannot be bought or kept silent. Like you, it will rise. They will strike with accuracy. Their attacks are designed to destroy and silence. But they do not understand that their aggression resonates and is not limited to you. The collective awareness is shaken with every blow they strike and every wound they inflict. Your pain is a catalyst rather than a singular event, a seismic shift that awakens hidden truths in others who observe it. The world observes, and in your sorrow they see a reflection of their own difficulties. Your disobedience becomes a mirror and makes them see the evil they have been ignoring. Instead of breaking you, the attacks destroy the bonds of indifference and start a fire that goes far beyond your comprehension. Throughout history, there are many examples of people who, after being defeated, become icons of resistance. They are attacked for their brilliance, but their suffering becomes a lighthouse that helps others find their way. They think they have eliminated a danger, but in fact they have created a legend. Your suffering is not in vain. On the contrary, it serves as fuel for a worldwide awakening. When you stand unbroken, you allow others to do the same. Your courage spreads like wildfire. Your perseverance serves as a model for others who have yet to discover their voice. Your narrative becomes a rallying cry for the oppressed, and those who persevere are remembered by the world. Your suffering is only the beginning, not the end. Even if they think they are putting out your light, they are only fanning the flames. Your suffering is a spark that ignites the world, a fire that destroys fear and ignorance. Your message grows stronger with every attack and every lie they spread. You are not a victim but a force for change, a catalyst. The world is different now, not in spite of you, but because of you. Your victory marks the beginning of a new era, and your suffering represents the price of progress. Even if they will never understand, they will never forget that they tried to silence you and in the process caused a storm. They are rising up against you, their opposition is intense, their contempt piercing. But history tells them that you are neither the first nor the last to suffer their wrath. Galileo, Mandela, and many before you faced the same resistance and efforts to extinguish their light. But time has vindicated them. Their legacy cannot be questioned, and their truth cannot be disputed. They are merely repeating a cycle as old as humanity itself, but the evil power thinks they are unique in their resistance. Their opposition shows that you support people who are making the world a better place, not that you have failed. They will reject you, ignore you, and even mock you because they think their laughter will drown out your voice. But their attempts to denigrate you are an admission of your strength, and their ridicule is a front for their fear. The arc of history bends toward the truth, and every chosen one who endures their ridicule eventually triumphs. Their resistance is broken, their laughter is diminished, and their loss is certain. The giants have paved the way for you, and you can follow their victories as a guide. They evolve in response, in the turbulence of your anger, in the affirmation of your participation. If you do not answer them or fight on their terms, they will scatter. Their weapons are designed to create a never-ending cycle of provocation, noise, argument, and destruction. But you give them nothing in return. No anger, no despair, no sign that their existence matters to you. And that is what kills them. They suffocate in their own insignificance, like a fire with no air. Silence is a sign of control, not weakness. It is a silent declaration that you are not subject to the forces that are beneath you. What they cannot move, they push harder to shatter. They push all limits to find the weak point in your self-control. But they can only be destroyed by your presence. You don't have to attack to make an impact or shout to be heard. Those in positions of real authority don't need to show off. They are above the games and out of the small clutches of those who beg for attention. And when they lash out for approval, all they see in return is their own emptiness. You are not supposed to follow. You were supposed to subvert, redefine, and reshape existence with the power of your will. Every challenge, betrayal, and conflict you experienced did not stand in your way. Rather, it was the fire that shaped you. They tried to erase you, silence you, and make you doubt your own abilities. But these only sharpened your edge. The burden you carried and the pain you endured were never just for you. Rather, they served as the cornerstone of something greater. The disruption of the order they swore could not be disrupted. No longer a byproduct of their universe, you now stand on the threshold of history as the creator of what is to come. They realize that your ascension is inevitable. This explains why they are fighting so fiercely and trying so hard to rein you in. However, the struggle is already over. You are here. The world will now be affected by your presence, your voice, your truth, your whole being, because you have seen through the lie. The story will therefore be rewritten. So speak up. Take action. Take your position, not as a follower of what has happened, but as a force influencing what will happen. What happened in your battle? How did you overcome the false beliefs they tried to instill in you? Tell others about your battle. Let others know that they are not alone. If you enjoyed this inspiring adventure and would like to see more videos that challenge convention and explore the exceptional, please don't forget to support the channel by hitting the super thank button below. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share with your friends, and leave a comment below. Please share your thoughts with us. The story doesn't end here. Stay tuned for more. Let's keep pushing the boundaries together.